Welcome back again today, friends. So we are doing another super mega massive freezer cooking video, also some meal prep, and meal prep to me just means some things that'll be going in the refrigerator that I'm not putting in the freezer. And all of the recipes that we are big batch freezer cooking and doing some meal prep with are from the Trim Healthy Starter book. That's right, I have been freezer cooking my way through the Trim Healthy Starter, Where Food Freedom Begins, the Plan in a Nutshell book by my favorite Trim Healthy mama folks. We are working our way through doing so many of their healthy and delicious recipes. If you don't do the Trim Healthy Mama way of eating plan, that is just fine. These recipes, many of them are gluten-free, they're all sugar-free, and they're easily adaptable to make them work for you. Now on this channel, we do all kinds of cooking, we do all kinds of meal prep, we do all kinds of recipes. I'm the mega mama. We do it all big batch around here. Personally, on my weight loss journey where I have lost 60 pounds so far, it is the Trim Healthy Mama way of eating that has been helping me with all of that. And as my song and dance goes, we could write songs now, everybody knows as the song and dance goes. Okay, anyway, I also am an accidental on purpose runner now, but Trim Healthy Mama is the food that I put in my mouth. Even if I don't use their recipes, I can swing eating out, I can swing my own recipes, I can swing all of my food life, everything that goes in my life, it goes in my life and goes in my mouth to match up with this plan, okay? Okay, if you would like to see my other Trim Healthy Mama freezer cooking, those links will be down in the description below, but let's get going with what we're cooking up today. So the very first recipe that we are doing, friends, I feel like saying class, but I'm a student myself, is on page 93. This is the lazy lasagna. Now, I was actually down in Trim Healthy Mama Land, which you have seen by now. I was on their podcast, the sisters and I, Pearl and Serene, we filmed several videos together, whole lot of fun. And they have their own restaurant, the Trim Healthy Mama Cafe. And I had the lazy lasagna while I was there, and while I was eating it, I was like, oh, this is great to have a sample of what it is I've been threatening to make for several weeks now. All of these recipes have been on my list for several weeks, and like all of life, I just keep circling, keep swimming until we get there, right? We are going to make this. Now, I think I've made this years before. I mean, it's been a while. A lot of times when I do low carb, sugar-free, healthy versions of lasagna, I use Heart of Palm. They have the Heart of Palm sheets. And I also have recipes for cabbage lasagna, eggplant lasagna, and such. But I want to do this lazy lasagna that has the spinach. I have not froze this, but I do have some of the ladies over in my Large Family Table community membership. They have frozen this, and they say they just pour the little bit of extra water off. But there's a note here on page 93. It says, once cooked, a little bit of liquid does settle to the bottom of the pan. It is not bad and has not bothered the thousands of happy makers of this recipe, but a few can't deal with it. If that is you, add a teaspoon or two of whole husk psyllium flakes to the meat sauce, and that helps it soak up a little bit. So I want to eat this today, and I want to put some in the freezer, and I am not scared of pouring off a little extra liquid if I have to. That's usually the case with like cabbage lasagna and such too. I got a whole list of things I want to make, but let's get this done. And as always, we're doing a ×4 batch. So how our song and dance has been going, y'all know I'm out of ground beef. I do have some canned ground beef, so I could use my canned ground beef in this. And now I'm thinking, oh, I should have done that. Well, I already defrosted this bison that we've been getting at Sharp Shopper for $4.99 a pound. So let's cook this up. As I'm feeling guilty, I'm like, oh, I should have used that canned ground beef. That's okay. We are going to use one of the recipes that's coming up next. I'm looking at my whiteboard, Wicked White Chili and Whoop Whoop Soup, which is delicious. I'll tell you about each one. But with the Wicked White Chili, we're using the canned chicken that we've canned in this kitchen. But let's get cooking this bison real quick now. just to prove to you all, I do have another meat masher, so I'm gonna try to let my brain use this one today. Let's see how it works out. And I have my heat pads back that I like, so it's gonna be a good day. Okay, so looking at the recipe, giving this ground beef a minute, it's a pound of ground meat of your choice. So they said they usually use beef, but you could use pork, you could use ground chicken, lots of ways you can use ground turkey. We're using bison. Then it is a 12-ounce jar of no sugar added pizza sauce or spaghetti sauce. And look at us. Hey, look. So I've got 4 of these. Then we're going to use oregano, mineral salt, onion powder, garlic powder. They call for some pure stevia extract if you would like. I don't have any, so it's fine. Then it is 1 10-ounce package of chopped spinach, thawed, thawed or a bag of fresh, roughly chopped. So I have 4 bags of frozen spinach here looking at me. They call for 4 ounces of a third fat, hold on here, cream cheese. And I might actually, well, okay. So this would be 2. So, and I don't think that, a kid did get into this, okay. And then they quickly realized, oh, this is not the cream cheese I was looking for. Anyway, so this counts for 2 of what we need. And then I'll use a bar of regular old cream cheese. And then they say half of a 14-ounce container of 1% cottage cheese. Let me see what I have here. And I have a 24-ounce container. So I will do math in a minute, but this isn't my moment. Then they call for 1 egg. Sorry, just gotta laugh at myself. 1 egg, so we'll use 4 eggs, and then some mozzarella cheese, which I still have a little bit of the mozzarella and provolone blend. And then I have a block of something that I'm gonna shred here in a minute. And then Parmesan cheese, which the green can is fine, they say. So, preheat our oven, gotta do that, brown our meat, we're doing that. Then we're gonna add in the sauce and the seasonings. Then, if using thawed from frozen spinach, place in a colander and squeeze and push the liquid out. So my spinach is still definitely frozen, so I guess I'm gonna do like a cold water defrost method on that. And then we're gonna put the cream cheese, cottage cheese, and eggs in the food processor. So we're gonna use my Vitamix. And then we're just gonna layer like lasagna. So it says layer in an 8x8 baking dish. And so since I'm doing this times 4, I would think we would get 2 9x13s, roughly. I mean, this is eyeballing school after all. Let's see, meat sauce, egg and cheese mixture, half of the spinach, grated cheese, keep doing the layers, and then bake for 30 to 40 minutes. We're doing it. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna work on getting this spinach cooperating, and these are 12 ounces. Hey there friends, we are gonna do something super fun. Today's video is sponsored by FabFitFun, and we are going to open this box and see the goodies that I picked out. Alrighty, so here is my curated summer 2024 FabFitFun box, and we're gonna open this puppy up and I'm gonna show you exactly what I got. Woo! Deals for days. So here's my beautiful FabFitFun box for summer 2024. Can't wait to show you all the goodies in here. Let's start with this little puppy here, okay? So Alley-Oop is the brand name. Now, I'm a 44, almost 45-year-old mama. I don't know that much about makeup. I use Walmart makeup. We do need to solve that problem. And so while I was picking out my items for my box, I saw this as an option and I thought, I've never seen anything like that. How does that work? Okay. But I do like to learn new things. Like just a few years ago, I learned about eyebrow mascara. Okay. And so I do that now. But anyway, okay, so this, and let me focus, okay, with my eyes. It cream eyeshadow and liner stick, and it's in this baby pearl color. And I've never thought about using this particular shade around my eyes, but apparently it's a thing, and we're learning things. So I'm very excited to try this particular eyeliner stick. Okay, and this is again called Baby Pearl. Looks lovely, should be shimmery. It says last 11 hours, smudge and crease proof, waterproof. And see, that's fantastic because we're getting ready for 2 days of summer swimming back to back. Not today, it's a running evening around here, but this weekend. Oh, built-in sharpener. Now I'm just, oh, and it's shimmer. So, from the 90s, I like all the shimmery stuff. I have a really fun, special FabFitFun offer for you, my viewers. Whenever you use special code Jamerrill Gift, you get a free gift valued over $200 with your annual membership to FabFitFun. I'm an annual member and I love it because I get first dibs on choosing products for my box. I get earlier shipping and first access to flash sales. I recommend the annual membership because you get the most out of it. But if you want to sign up as a seasonal member and get 20% off your first box, use my special promo code Jamerrill. Each season's box has a value of up to $350. And when you use my special code, your first box is only $55.99, which is a fun mama treat. I'm so excited because we have so many fun swimming days coming up for summer. It's like 'tis the season, and that's exactly why I picked this bag, because it looks like the perfect pool and river and lake bag. I am very excited to use this, get this going quickly. FabFitFun is a lifestyle subscription where you get 6 products per season from top brands across beauty, fashion, home, wellness, skincare, and more. I love that I get to choose all the products that I get in each box to make it fit my lifestyle. As a FabFitFun member, I get access to amazing flash sales with top brands like Prada and Summer Fridays for up to 70% off. The average member saves $500 in their first season. And my special offer to share with you, friends, is if you use my code Jamerrill Gift, you get a free gift valued at over $200 with a new annual membership. I'm an annual member and I love it because I get first dibs on so many amazing products. If you want to sign up as a seasonal member, you can use my special code Jamerrill for 20% off your first box. Each season's box has a value of up to $350, and when you use my code, your first box is only $55.99. Be sure to click the first link in the description below. Alrighty, so here's how the spinach situation has worked out. Alrighty, so it's, oh, I just did it, 28 ounces of cottage cheese that I need now. And so this is 24 ounces, and this has just a little bit left. I do eat low-fat cottage cheese most days. And then we have our 2 blocks of cream cheese, and we're just gonna pretend that they're both pink. No big deal really. And then our 4 eggs. And I'm just gonna start eyeballing these through the blender. Alrighty, so let's see how we can get this in here. Ooh, throw it around a little bit. Okay, so I've put the 4 eggs in there and 1 of the blocks of cottage cheese or cream cheese. Now we'll just put this little bit left container of cream cheese in here and get this blending. And we have another container of cream cheese and another, no, I don't know if we'll be able to say that right. We have another container of cottage cheese and another brick of cream cheese. It's the cheese that's throwing me off that we need to work in here. So let's see here. I'm gonna get this other brick of cream cheese in here now, and I set it right. Go me. I think we can have all of this play nicely together. Sometimes things like to jump out, huh? Smelling cream cheese just reminds me of like celery with cream cheese in it. I don't know if you've ever done that. I know peanut butter celery is a fairly known thing. I also would eat cream cheese in celery. I think I need to do that again. So if you ever needed to test if you could have a blender full of cream cheese and cottage cheese, we're getting the data. We're getting the data for that. So let's see here. Sealed lid. I think it needed to burp, so I just burped it. Okay, so this is very lovely and smooth. Look at that. Nice. Good job, Vitamix. I think the Trim Healthy Mama Cafe would be proud. And hey, there's the aftermath, but that's okay. That's part of big batch cooking. Okay, so we're gonna add in, I'm using pizza sauce because that's what I had. Add that in and our seasonings. That just going on low. I do think this is coming together easily, so that's nice because easy is our favorite. 10 stars, I highly recommend. Okay. And for the garlic powder and onion powder, I believe it was half a teaspoon. So it would be 2 teaspoons for the ×4 batch. Because I am who I am, I'm just doing a tablespoon of both because I live by tablespoons anyway. Don't know if I have a tablespoon. That onion powder is questionable. Okay, so let's see. Get my oregano too. And my salt. Just eyeballing that one. Okay. brought up here and I need my other hot roller. Okay, I think we're all set up. So the way that we need to do our layers will be the meat mixture layer, our nice smooth, I'm so proud of how smooth, it's almost like a frosting, our cheese blend, then spinach, and then shredded cheese. I am so glad that we started with lazy lasagna because I am hungry and this is going to take like 35 to 40 minutes, but this is what we are going to eat for our lunch today and I am so happy about it, and also thinking about freezing, so I'm going to go ahead and cook both of these through. Yes, we're making this plan while I go because, okay, so I can eat one for several meals coming up. And then the other one, what I should probably do, okay, now I'm not sure. Now I'm having second thoughts. I either wrap it and freeze it how it is, bake it later. That's probably what I should do. I have spinach all over me now. What I was thinking I was doing was cooking both, so one out to eat. The other one I was gonna freeze in individual portions, but it just makes more sense to pull the whole 9x13 out in this case with this recipe, defrost it, cook it through, and then eat it over a couple days. Because I could do it like how I did that meatloaf and do it in the individual portions, which I also could have frozen as a whole meatloaf instead of individually portioning it down. But we're just going with what works for my brain right now. And that's what you should do when you're big batch cooking. Just any way the wind blows with your brain, go with that. And now I'm wondering how much my family folks are going to like this recipe. Should I cook both now? Okay, I'm going to go with one. And oh no, I had a cast iron pan in there. Okay. Okay, so executive decision. I did go ahead and throw the second lasagna in there. Because, yeah, hungry and just not sure. Which goes back to not thinking clearly. And so that means it's time to eat. And I looked at my little 8 app that I use to track my food, and it has been 3 hours and 9 minutes. And my blood sugar is saying, feed me, Seymour. So I'm doing this is going to be an e-meal lunch, if you're following along with that, which means it's medium healthy carbs, lower fat. And so I got the Ezekiel English muffin. You probably have seen me eat this 100 times. Some light Laughing Cow cheese and some ham. And this ham is 1.5 grams of fat for 2 ounces. And then I think this is 1.5. So I either need another light Laughing Cow cheese or maybe a little more turkey. And then even this low-fat cottage cheese, though, that'll probably make up for it right there, honestly. So you can tell my voice is fading. Let's feed the mama and keep cooking. It's just to the point where I can't make it, and I can't wait 40 minutes for the lazy lasagna to be done. So we'll eat this now. Okay, so I'm gonna cross off the lazy lasagna because I feel like we're able to move on now to the Wicked White Chili, page 113. Okay, so next we need to do the Wicked White Chili on page 113. It says, this hearty chili is wicked good. It can be a lifesaver during busy seasons. Throw the ingredients in your crock pot in the morning and you no longer have to stress about dinner. So, and it also had boneless raw chicken and such. So, you know, we're swirling it up a bit like how we like to do. So it calls for 1 1/4 pound to 1 1/2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast or tenderloins. And I'm gonna use, let's see here, our canned chicken that we did together. And usually one of these is about 1 pound. So I have 5 of these jars, so about 5 pounds of the shredded chicken already. They call for Great Northern beans, rinsed and drained, chicken broth, Rotel style tomatoes with chilies, mild, medium, or hot. I have 1 little 4-ounce can of hot. This calls for 10 ounce, which of course in our world would be 40 ounce. So I'm putting a 4 ounce in there because that's all I have of anything with any real flavor there. The rest is just regular old tomatoes and chilies, but I guess they're all mild. Anyway, we will read the can. Then 4 cups of veggie blend. I think I probably have the equivalent of about 2 canned corn or frozen. And we're going to be using the corn that we canned together. Then mineral salt, cumin, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and then Greek yogurt. So we're not doing any of this in the crock pot. I guess we could though. I'm not. I'll probably use my red Dutch oven on the stove over there. So this is where we now go off the rails. I'm gonna put the chicken in. It talks about blending a can of beans with the broth and adding it to the pot. So we'll get into swirling around with that. I think swirling around is gonna be a new term, okay? A new term that we use over here in this universe. And then add the other ingredients except the yogurt. If you're using a slow cooker, you would cook on low all day or high for 4 to 5 hours. It says 30 minutes before serving. If it was in the slow cooker, you would take it out, take your chicken out and shred it. And it says combine well, add the yogurt, mix well. So let's get everything over to the stove and throw this all together and mix it up in some new and exciting way. Alrighty, so we're gonna get rolling with the white wicked chili now. I am just gonna put some olive oil in here, but it doesn't count, it's just gross. And I'm going to use this jar opener and we'll see if it cooperates. We're just doing this, you know, true dump and go recipe. And I do plan to use what soup containers I have available to do more individual size, like mama meal prep lunch portions for myself. And when I run out of those, I'm going to freeze it in gallon Ziploc bags too, which I would take it out from the freezer, put it in the refrigerator, let it defrost for a day or two, and then I'll just throw it in the slow cooker. More than likely to warm through. And that would be something that I would just eat in bulk like that for several meals. And I'm doing a lot of this. I'm doing these recipes because these are all things I like to eat, and I'm all about Save the Mama. But I also do have other family cooks that'll eat different recipes, different things. Grab it out of the freezer, or when I have it heated up, they may want some portions of this too, which is why as a mom, you never know exactly how much to make of anything, right? They can be surprising. So we're gonna go ahead and dump our tomatoes in here also. So out of the beans that are drained and rinsed, half of them I'm gonna put through the Vitamix, and the rest we'll put in here whole. That probably just helps thicken it up some, is what I'm thinking here. Good job. The can opener's participating today. That's nice. It's my little hot chilies. Which this little 4-ounce can will just add a little spice to it, but also not be too hot for different family folks. Okay, maybe I really. Okay, yay! Get it out. Get out of there. And then these are diced tomatoes. Right, now we have the seasoning blend, which is not as much as we should have, but we're still using it and doing it. I guess I could go ahead and turn this heat on too. I feel like I'm trying to get this show on the road. Okay. And we will add in chili powder, salt, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder. I'm doing 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Okay. Oops. And out of this onion powder, I'm going to do a tablespoon of this onion powder. And I'm dropping things everywhere. Going to do a tablespoon of cumin. Third thing I've dropped on the floor. We're just rolling, aren't we? And then garlic powder. Okay. Landed on its top. So I'm gonna mix all this up, and then we'll go over and have adventures with the blender. Oh, and we get to use one of our big spoons to stir this. So here's how things are looking at the moment, and that's my alarm. Hold on here. Okay, that was to check on these lasagnas. Oh, those are beautiful. Okay, definitely turning the heat off on those. Super lovely. I don't want to let those sit in there too long because it looked like things could get pretty serious. So let me get them out. These are so delicious looking inside. beautiful these are. I mean, they're still like bubbling, but we'll let them cool here. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lid on this, let it do its thing, and let's go over and we're doing something. We're having a complete thought. Let's go over it. Just what about where I'm gonna put that spoon? Let's go blend those beans and then we'll come back over here. Okay, so we're gonna take out a cup of broth here. Which we'll just add that to when we do the whoop whoop soup. Okay. And we'll see how Vitamix likes beans. Alrighty, so now let's see what happens. Nice, nice. Okay, I guess exactly what needed to happen happened. That's nice. We like it when things go that way. Well, going for the red Dutch oven was the winning choice. I think this is a 16 quart. So these are our non-blundered beans. And then this is our bean mixture, which, I know what we're doing here. That's what makes it the white. Because we wouldn't use heavy creams in this, because this recipe is an e-meal, which means energizing, which means you are burning healthy carbs, so there's a lower amount of fat in those meals. Okay, now I got it. Smart, smart, smart. So here's how this is looking, and I'm just gonna let it cook low and slow while we now get the whoop whoop soup going. So this whoop whoop soup, I guess it's because it's so good it makes you want to go whoop whoop. I think that's how it goes. Oh, it says yes, it's enough to make you go whoop whoop, fist bump, and do a happy dorky dance. Okay, so that's how good this is. Big promises, but when I've had it in the past, it reminds me of like an Olive Garden Zuppa Toscana. It's delicious. All right, so here's everything set out. Now, I had some ground sausage I was going to cook, and then because of earlier, when I cooked all that bison, and I was like, oh wait, I have some canned ground beef I could have used. So we caught it ahead of time, and I was like, I hope I have some canned sausage left. This was from the whole hog that we had bought. And anywho, I found for the equivalent of 4 pounds of it. I don't know if there's any more swirled down there. And I think now, just different times we've put canned things away. And you know, I'm not 100% organized down there, but the capacity continues to come back, and every day is a little better than the day before, definitely better. Yeah, okay. So all that to say, I think I have 6 or 7 pounds of ground beef left canned, even though I know in other videos I've said this is my last one. It's kind of like the Lord multiplying the loaves of the fish. I keep finding more. So I believe now I've got about 6 or 7 pounds of the ground beef left. We've already established I found 4 pounds of the sausage, but I'm not convinced there's no more ground sausage down there. There probably is. This 4 pounds was behind the mandarin oranges. So there's hope, but let's make this whoop whoop soup. Okay, so we're not browning no sausage. We do need to find a soup pot. I feel like those would be too big. So, since I don't know where my IKEA pot is, like I'm looking around, I feel like it's sitting somewhere with something. That's my 30 quart pot and a 20 quart one. I don't remember how many quarts. Oh, look at this. I don't know how Chase got in here, but this is where Chase went. This is a precious pot. Okay. It might be a 10 or 12. Anyway, I think the Whoop Whoop soup will fit in here. Well, we're gonna make it fit in here. So I do need to wash the lid though, because it has lived on top of my refrigerator and it needs to get some more Mega Mama kitchen time. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so per our usual, we are off the rails. That's how I like it. Not too much off the rails, just using what we have on hand, right? So, well, I know we need to open these. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and throw our sausage in here somewhere. Cold enough for me to move it. Okay, this is going to be pushing it with this little precious pot, but I think we can do it. Alrighty, so the sausage is in. I did 4 pounds of sausage. I'm going to put in all of this chicken broth. That was the extra cup that we had. And then now what I'm doing is 4 48-ounce containers. You know, one day we will do homemade chicken broth again. But right now we are just thanking Mr. Great Value. Okay, so we got the chicken broth in. It says all the ingredients except for the thickener. So I'm just gonna keep on putting it in. We got our spinach next. Okay, so we've got, originally it says 1/3 to 1/2 cup of heavy cream, so that'll be 2 cups for us. I'm having 1 cup measuring cup there. It's gonna be my watch timer going off about something. I think it was just more, I was trying to have this soup done in 10 minutes and I've gotten distracted. Okay. Text messages of life. Okay, so we have seasonings. Oh, also water. Well, that would be important for me to read. So 4 cups of water. Okay, this is looking beautiful. Again, we have not added the seasonings in yet. We will do that. We've not added the thickener in yet, but it looks so pretty. All right, yes. Okay, so the Whoop Whoop soup is going. I'm gonna actually put that down on low, and then this white wicked chili or wicked white chili. It is resting now. Let's have a look at that. There you go, doing its thing. And now on to something else. Okay, so we're gonna cross off the wicked white chili. We're gonna cross off the Whoop Whoop soup. We are jumping all the way down here now to the skinny milk chocolate on page 159. So here is the skinny milk chocolate situation. I used to make a variation of this back in the farmhouse days, and I had it in my freezer and it was ready to go. And that's what we're going to do with this. We're gonna make up 4 batches and we're gonna keep it in the freezer. And it says, break into pieces inside the baggie to enjoy as you wish by snapping on the outside of the bag. Keep the baggie sealed in the freezer. So that's our plan. All right, so got my venison for dinner modern day milkmaid cup going, even though I'm not a modern day milkmaid at this season of my life. Okay, anywho, got a little afternoon coffee happening. So I'm reading this recipe. It says, as long as you have this in your freezer, you will never have to feel chocolate deprived again, which is good. We don't like being chocolate deprived. Okay, so half a cup of unsweetened almond milk or cashew milk. That's where I need to have this little afternoon cup of coffee because the words are slurring. So we're gonna use 2 cups of almond milk. They say gentle sweet. I have stevia in the roll. That's what I'm using. Fort building has commenced, so we're gonna hear that. Then we have cocoa powder, unflavored whey protein, which, okay, that's the cookies and cream. I need to grab, I've got a different one over there I need to grab. And then mineral salt, vanilla. They use Glucki for a thickener. But I don't have any Glucki in this season of my life. I need to order some, and I cannot say the long name, even if I tried. That's why they call it Glucki. Per our usual, I'm gonna use xanthan gum. So I guess I'm really testing this recipe. And then it calls for coconut oil. So we'll pull this together. Okay, so we have our cocoa powder, stevia, the xanthan gum, vanilla, salt, coconut oil, and I'm gonna get the 2 cups of almond milk going on the stove here in our little precious saucepan. Okay, so this is actually another half a cup. We're just getting to 2 cups total. I ran out, but then ran to the grocery store in my basement, got a little more, so we're gonna get that warmed up on the stove now. I'm just gonna fit it between 2 soup pots there. Let's see here, I think it's this one. There we go. Nice. All right, so it says to add the other ingredients to the saucepan, except the coconut oil. So, got our stevia going in, and then we're using a cup of cocoa powder. What else we got going on? Okay, this is their unflavored protein powder, and it's 1/4 of a cup. This is a half cup, so we will use 2 of these to be a full cup. And they were saying how their original version of this recipe, which that's the one I used to make all the time at the farmhouse, keep in the freezer, was very dark chocolate in flavor, which it was, but it was good. Anyway, this one is supposed to be more milk chocolate-y taste. And, okay, a little bit of salt. And then some vanilla. Okay, I'm gonna get whisking that, and then I need to add the xanthan gum. And again, if things get squirrely with this, that's where the squirreliness is happening. Okay, and I did not use my spinach whisk in this skinny milk chocolate, so I'm proud of us. Let me grab a teaspoon. And it says, so well, what we're going to get out of this is 4 baggies that we freeze flat. And it says they need to freeze for about 8 to 12 hours to set up. And we are going to do a whole blender situation with the coconut oil here in a moment. Okay, so coconut oil, put the coconut oil in the blender, add the contents from the saucepan into the blender, blend for a minute, nice, and then we dump it in. Now it says quart-size zippy bags. Okay, I don't know what size my bags are. Of course I have the gallon bags. Well, I guess I'm doing a gallon amount. I could potentially do a giant bag of it. It says serving-wise, that in the quart-size bags, usually about 1/3 in one day, but they say that they hate giving numbers and all of that, so it's not a law. Let's see, I don't think I dribbled any vanilla in here. Let's do that. Or if I did, there's some more. Okay. Okay, so I've got 1.5 cups here of coconut oil. Good job, blender. You are earning your keep today. Okay, so that blended up beautifully. I've been testing the spoon, that's perfect. So I think what I'm gonna actually do is I'm going to freeze this skinny milk chocolate like how I used to do the original skinny chocolate in the farmhouse, and I just put it in a little freezer container and then I popped it out once it was done freezing. I don't have the quart-size bags. I could put all of this in a gallon bag. Really, none of this matters. 6 one way, half dozen another. But I think I'm gonna just go with what I know and freeze them in little freezer containers. Okay, a friend has come over to join me for afternoon coffee, and we have the giggles now because, and that's fort building. I needed a spoon to stir my coffee and I saw what was left. I just saw this that we just stirred the skinny milk chocolate with, and I'm like, I don't think I can go wrong here. I don't think so. So whatever, and now I'm gonna also use this to put the skinny chocolate into the containers, so whatever little coffee particles, I'm making her giggle, whatever coffee particles are left, everything is blessed all around. Okay, and I've got 2 plastic containers, 2 glass containers, and we will just use this to freeze the skinny milk chocolate for now and make lots of noise with. It still says chicken liaison that we had made in February, so that would confuse me one day. I would like to make more of that. That was so good and helpful to have on hand. Okay. Alrighty. Doing it. So, pour. Looks very nice, and now I'll just put that back in my coffee where it belongs. All right, so here's our little chocolate future Mama Chocolate happiness situation, including the scraper in the coffee. And there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna cross that off. Next, we're gonna go to the world of wonderful white blender bread. Oh boy. Alrighty, so here is how the blender bread looks. This is on page 184. It does have some notes on the other side of this page for some tweaks that some folks do within the Trim Healthy Mama community. I have never made this bread before, so I'm just going to do it per their book. But this bread is a fuel pool, which means that it's low in fat and low in carbs, so you could have it in any kind of meal setting. It's also a gluten-free bread, so I'm excited to give it a try. Of course, we're gonna go for 2 loaves, and then after this, we'll use the same recipe to do their freezer pizza crust. It makes personal pizza crust. Same exact recipe we're about to hit the blender with for these 2 loaves of bread. We're gonna do it again, and each batch should make 6 personal pizza crusts that I can then have in the freezer and pull out when Mama needs a pizza. Okay, so for extra fun though, to keep things exciting, I'm going to do this 1 batch at a time because that's just where my afternoon have a cup of coffee brain is. And since we're doing a bread situation, okay, yes. So I have a total of 3 cups of egg whites. We're going to use 1.5 cups in this. Alrighty. Close enough, close enough. And then I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. They also say glucose, and actually, meaning you can use either or. One of their community suggestions on the back of the page said that for some people it worked better doing this bread using the xanthan gum. There can be issues, not with every batch, not with every person of the bread flattening. So we'll see what we get. That's my disclaimer. So now we're going to put in 3/4 cup of the protein powder and then a full cup of the baking blend. I have a little spit of the baking blend left. If you are interested in buying any of their products, I have my Trim Healthy Mama link in the description below. You can use that to go find the starter book or any of their products. Many people have told me that they can't find the starter book on Amazon, and it's not always in stock over there, but it is always in stock on their website, which again I will have linked below. Let me see what else we need. All right, so now it is baking powder, salt, and 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Now, I'm hopeful that I have enough Greek yogurt to go through my cooking adventures. I guess we will find out. I know we have enough for this one. Two and a half teaspoons. And again, I am not doing any doubling, tripling, ×4, ×12 on this. I'm just gonna do it 1 loaf at a time for 2 loaves. And then when we get to the pizza crust, it's, again, same recipe. We will do that again. So they say for the salt, 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. This is where the blender bread name comes from. Alrighty, I'm going to I have parchment paper in these, but I think I'm gonna also spray them with some olive oil real quick. And then it said that these will bake for about 45 minutes or so, and then we let them stand and cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna do it one more time, and then we'll get these in the oven. I think I'll get quicker at this. All right, so there's a lot going on, family folks and such in the kitchen, but we got our next batch going, so let's get this in the baking pan. Then we'll get both of these loaves in the oven and get going on the pizza crust. Okay, so something interesting. Now, one of these looks a lot thinner than the other one. I don't know what I've done other than we had this other one prepared and has sat here in the heat of my kitchen for a few minutes. So there's always that possibility. Maybe I blended it to death a little longer. I'm not sure. I'm like, I put the yogurt in the other one. I don't know. Well, we're gonna put them both in the oven and we're gonna see what happens. But see the differences here? It's something. So the video footage will tell if it is something I have done, which is equally possible. Or again, it could just be that this one has been here for a few minutes. Anyway it goes, let's get it in the oven. Let's have this adventure, see what happens. Okay, so for the personal pizza crust, it says this wonderful blender white bread that we're doing, we just do this recipe again, and I have enough egg whites here to do it twice, but separately, okay. Each batch makes 6, sorry, I'm talking against the fort building. We good, pull that all the way for me, honey. Each batch makes 6 personal pizzas. If I've said personal pan pizzas, I didn't need the word pan. Okay, these are probably thinner. We're doing good, mamas, okay? So, math, doing the math, I should end up with 12 gluten-free pizza crust in my freezer. And we are gonna pre-bake them though. Full thoughts, my gluten-free folks would also probably enjoy these. And they have some variations in here. You can do like a garlic bread version, which is probably just, yeah, So garlic powder, parsley flakes, we just throw that in. Oh, that says smear. Okay, what this is saying is if you have your bread already made, then you cover it with butter, garlic powder, parsley, Parmesan cheese, bake for 5 minutes. I was thinking about mixing in those ingredients to just make a garlic bread from the get-go, which would be good for pizza crust. Why can't we do that? I'm looking to see. I don't know why I couldn't, but I better not go too squirrely yet, right? Let's just read the directions. So we're gonna go again. I'm gonna do another 1.5 cups of egg whites. Okay, and then our teaspoon of xanthan gum. I really think with that bread, because I was doing some other things when I had that first batch of the blender, I think it's more that I had that in the blender longer, but we'll see. Also, so we've been using Greek yogurt, and I'm almost out. I do have enough to finish this little science project that we're doing with the pizza crust, but you can also use the 1% fat-free cottage cheese. So, baking blend. So I was wondering what was happening here. I was supposed to get 6 out of the one batch, and I got 2. I'm gonna get 6 out of it. Stick with me. It's good. It's good. I just got busy swirling this dough around, whatever it is. Alrighty, so we'll figure it out. We will. I was looking at the size of the sheet pan, and I was thinking 2 per sheet pan, and I just went with that. But okay, so now I have this situation here, and I don't know how to get it. Well, let's use a little measuring cup here. Okay. So good. It's so good. Now I feel like I'm making pancakes. Don't know how much these like spread and rise and such. They had mentioned 2 per baking sheet. Of course, we don't know what size baking sheets we're referring to. somehow I've taken 2 big ones and I've gotten 2 small ones. So, okay, keep on scraping. Okay, these might be too close together. Let me show you the situation. Yeah, Cooking with Jamerrill, we're professional here. So this amount was supposed to make 6. Here we go. I'm gonna keep scraping. I'm gonna move this to the side. And I don't know how closely these are gonna cook up together, but we're figuring this out. Go us. Where we're going from here, but it's all going to work out. I don't think I'm getting another pizza out of this situation. But maybe if I scrape this and blend it. Maybe like we're making cupcakes. You think so? Be a whole thing. Look at this. This is how we make pizza, my friends. You've seen it here. Totally how this was supposed to go down. Okay, that. Put that over there. And we're going to scrape out a little more here. And I mean, we probably could have baked those too and just had larger pizzas. I didn't think of that till now. You've probably been saying that to me through your TVs. But the message just got to me here in the past from you in the future watching. Okay, it's just supposed to be in here for like 10 to 12 minutes. So that is good, and we'll get our other 6 ready, and it's gonna all work out great. Then totally peeking, here is how the other blender bread loaves are looking. So that's exciting. Okay, so my head head's cut off in this shot, huh? I am enjoying that lazy lasagna. It is so good. I've been inhaling it, but we need to get our bread out. Get on my fork. If you're not a spinach person, it doesn't taste like spinach. So it's delicious. Yeah, look at that. So pretty. So those are supposed to sit out, it said, for 15 minutes. And hopefully they won't go flat on us. So far so good. And I'm supposed to be able to slice them down, wrap it in a paper towel, and slide it in a gallon bag and then keep it in the refrigerator. So I'm definitely excited about these. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. I'm fitting 3 pizzas on here. I flipped my pans around in the oven there. I'm still eating this lasagna. It is amazing. Okay. I think I liked using a little measuring cup to dip it out with. That just makes sense. And I'm going to do a base for each one, and then we'll add to it. See how that works. The ones in the oven right now look like a flatbread to me, which delicious. Put pizza toppings on them. And if I didn't have this lazy lasagna, I would have had one of those all sparkled up for dinner. Okay. Happy new day. And so, continuing on with our freezer cooking and meal prep, I am now doing, or actually I've already done one serving, but let's do some more of the Cottage berry whip. I'm looking at my whiteboard because I've worn off the page number on this. And I have an Amazon delivery. Thank you, Amazon. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see how many times I can say okay. That's what we're doing today. See, and I just notice when I rhyme. 153. That's the page number for the Cottage berry whip. I'm eating some. I've already made it. I went live with my large family table community members. I showed them a lot of cooking projects I got going on, and I made this single serving live, and I've been eating it. And then we chatted and also we're talking through what they'd like to hear about in a live event I'm hosting tonight when I'm filming this, but not tonight when you watch this video. Confused already? Anyway, if you'd like to join the Large Family Table community, first link in the description below, largefamilytable.com/community. You get live events with me, tons, mega tons, 60 or whatever the number is of my big batch freezer meal guides and sheet pan meal guides and slow cooker meal plans, all that stuff. Over in membership, I also have a 1-year full meal plan with the links you click for the recipes, grocery shopping list for each week. What else do I have? I've had a ton of experts over there, so mega much. There's so many numbers involved because I've been leading and cheerleading my membership, which is like a fun ongoing course with me every month. You get exclusive videos. Like when I was just on that Trim Healthy Mama trip, I did an exclusive video with Pearl and Serene for my membership. You get replays of all the live events and the interviews and such that you might miss. So if you join now, it's over 4 years of content. Like I started in January 2020, before we knew the world was going to blow up. It's a lot. I just really want to eat this now. Okay, and let's keep going with this meal prep. So one thing I noticed, it had been a little bit, I've eaten this before. There's another one, I can't think offhand what it's called, but it's like cream cheese and almonds and frozen strawberries and some stevia. It was in their first cookbook. It's like it's a cheesecake dessert thingy, okay? Look that up. Trim Healthy Mama, Trim cheesecake dessert thingy. Been a little bit, but this cheesecake berry whip is also very delicious. It's 1% cottage cheese, frozen berries, your sweetener, and then the baobab boost powder. And so whenever I went down with my kidney pregnancy, E. coli trying to kill me situation in 2021, and I got back on the Trim Healthy Mama plan. Yes, I've been back on it since January 2021. You all see the weight loss now, mainly because at some point my body started draining it off my face, but I've been on plan since then. It took a year and a half of healing though, my body. And then once I was done breastfeeding, say it with me friends who watch all of my videos, you know this story. I lost 25 pounds gently over about a year, which is great because I was like a little less than half a pound a week. And then, so I lost the 25 pounds, and then after my miscarriage, I kind of had gained 10 back. And so since summer 2023 till now, okay, I'm literally gonna do math on my fingers. It's just a little bit of a fuzzy brain day. 25, okay, but then I gained 10 back, so I've lost another 45. Is that right? That's not right. I'm gonna need a calculator. I've lost, whoa, okay. I'm like, whoa, I have more figures. I've lost a total of 60 pounds. Do the math, 60 minus 25, but then I gained 10 back, and that number from summer 2023 till now. And now my weight loss, like scale numbers wise, I have lost another pound recently. I guess I should add that to my overall totals because I know some people like numbers. But I'm doing a lot of strength training plus continuing to do all my running. Like I'm running a race thing this Saturday morning, and I'm running 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. The strength training is also, it's toning and also building muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So anyway, I'm really not paying too much attention to the scale numbers because even if the numbers don't move, I'm still, my clothes are fitting better in the right ways that I notice, even if those numbers go slow. So I still want to lose another 20 to 30 pounds, and we will get there even if the numbers come off. You know, if it takes another year or so, because I'm also adding in the strength training and such, it's fine, we're doing it. I'm healthy, and getting better in all kinds of ways. So, I'm gonna double this recipe because I have some other folks who are interested. I ate my I'm eating my single serving in this cup. 153, so I'm gonna do a full cup of cottage cheese now. So I'm putting in my 2 half cups, and then I'm gonna do a cup. Well, this is half a cup, so 2 heaping half cups of frozen berries. Yay. And then it'll be 2 tablespoons of my sweetener. And then a tablespoon and a teaspoon of the baobab powder. So back to what I was telling you is I use this baobab powder. Of course, this is a bag I just opened today, but this is one of the main ingredients in the Boost juice that I started drinking a lot in 2021, and I want to drink it now. I should get back to that. And when I started again in January 2021, because I was sick and I did have E. coli off the charts, I just started again with breakfast to get back on plan. And then I slowly added in some simple sippers, as they call them, which, like, I would have that in one of my quart jars with some ice, and I would just be sipping on it throughout the day. And it was absolutely delicious. And then from there, I would work in, I think I've shown this to you all, but I don't know that I've made it yet. And then I'm like, oh, let's make all the things, but we need to finish the list I'm already doing. Okay, here's the Boost juice. It's on page 179. So, single tall glass, we got lemon, the baobab powder, stevia, ice cubes. Okay, and that says a single tall glass. I just did it in a quart jar. And then, let me see what else. Good Girl Moonshine they got in here on the next page. I was trying to show you. This, what do they call it? Choco Secret Big Boy Smoothie. Okay, it's got okra in it, but you wouldn't know. It's absolutely delicious. On page 172. It's water, it's okra, cocoa powder, coconut oil, vanilla, mineral salt, gentle sweet ice cubes, and the whey protein powder. I mean, it's just absolutely delicious. So let me get back to the page that we're on, 153. So I think we got everything in here. So I was saying that was one of the things back in 2021 I started making for myself regularly as well. Whenever I made the single serve live over in my membership community, and this is, you know, in my Vitamix, it almost wasn't enough for the blades to really catch, so I suggest you make a double batch. That way you have enough for yourself and to share with a friend. But anyway, it's grabbing better now. Now I'll yell on the camera. It's grabbing better now that I'm doing a double batch anyway. Okay, so here's what it looks like. I did have to baby my Vitamix a little bit. I joked I need to go to Vitamix school now, but anyway, we got it all nice and smooth, and I'm going to serve it up now. So there we go, friends. That is the Cottage Berry Whip. They used raspberries in the picture there, and we used the frozen mixed berries from Costco that has raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries in it. You can also just do it with strawberries. So there we go, delicious. So now I'm going to do a double batch of their Waldorf cottage cheese salad. The next recipe after this is for the freezer. This is some mama meal prep. I've been wanting to try this, never made it before. We're gonna play it straight by the book, only I'm doubling it. And I'm gonna have it later this afternoon, and then I should have enough, 2 servings, to also add it on with a meal tomorrow. It is an e-meal, so I'll have it in an e-meal setting, which means lower fat up to a medium level of healthy carbs. So let's take a look at these ingredients. So the recipe calls for finely chopped nuts, and then if you want to do, what are they doing? They're mixing the nuts with some seasoning and a small squirt of like liquid aminos or soy sauce. I know I have unopened liquid aminos downstairs. I have some coconut aminos though, and so I think I'm gonna use that. Because it's open and I still have 3/4 of a bottle. 1 medium apple, so we'll be doing 2. 3 celery stalks, so we'll be doing 6. A cup of cottage cheese, so we will do 2. And then some mineral salt, black pepper, red pepper flakes if you would like for extra sprinkles. And then here is their picture from the Trim Healthy Mama starter book. That looks delicious. So we're doing double of this. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get this apple chopped up. Some of you have asked if I've taken my knife skills class yet. Actually, in the comments of the video that I published on this day, which is not the day you're watching this, I had a couple people ask me, probably because my life skills and my knife skills are amazing. Ha ha. Anywho, no. I have signed up for the class and paid for it twice. And it is an hour and a half away, hour and a half in each direction, because I live out yonder. We don't have no knife skill classes around here. And I just keep thinking, after all these years of chopping stuff on YouTube, I should just take a knife skills class. And so I'll look at my calendar, I'll sign up for it, I'll say I'm so going to do that. And then as it gets closer, real life schedule is like, you're not gonna drive 3 hours round trip to go do a knife skills class morning. No, you're not. It is just not going to work out. So here we are, being amazing on these interwebs, but that's what I got, friends. So no, I have not gone yet, but I've gone to it in spirit because again, I've paid for it twice, and they work with me and they try to get me to reschedule. And I don't know if you would believe this or not, but I am incredibly busy. And it's hard for me to pull some things together. I got a couple kids, 57, as I like to joke, and I have stuff and things happening. So, yes, and I know there's online things I can do and all of that good stuff, but this makes it more entertaining, doesn't it? Alrighty, so we are putting in 2 cups of the low-fat cottage cheese, but cottage cheese is just so great because there's so much protein you can get from it. A half a cup is 13 grams, and this calls for a whole cup, and so that's going to give you 26 grams of protein. And they say, I didn't get this point until recently, even though I've done THM stuff for years, they say that you should have 15 to 20 grams of protein with each meal. So, voila, this will be perfect. And of course, we're doubling this, so I'll probably have half with my lunch and half with my dinner because of the apples in it. I didn't think about that. Even if I have brown apples tomorrow, I will still eat it, but I just think I need to have 2 meals for the rest of the day, and I will have this. Okay, so there we go. Good job, bowl. Okay. We finished out yet another cottage cheese. So that is good. And then, so they say 2 teaspoons of finely chopped nuts. So that'll be a tablespoon here and a teaspoon, which I still have sitting out. Look at me, I prepped. Except what is that in my walnuts? Okay. It's a little piece of plastic from something when I originally, look at this. I have almost used all my walnuts. Okay. I'm just gonna let's read directions. Okay, there's a whole thing going on with the nuts here. Mix the nuts, toss in a small dry skillet over medium heat until brown and crispy. That sounds like a little too much for me. For about 2 minutes, watch they don't burn. For a lazier version, that's me. Don't heat the nuts, just allow them to soak in the seasonings while you prepare the rest of the salad. Should have done that. But I'm not necessarily committed to putting them in these seasonings anyway, but I am trying to participate and play along. So it's just a little toss. Okay, well, and I'm not eating this right now either, so. All the noise, okay. It's just supposed to be like a little part of the aminos, so since there's so few, I don't want to lose them. Okay, let's see if I don't guzzle. Okay. Okay, gonna be a little bold, gonna play along. Woo! I just ruined my walnuts. I know I did. Yeah, so try again. Okay, so the good news is we have some walnuts left. We have coconut aminos left. I don't know if I can handle this responsibility. Okay, try again. It's good, it's so good. We're just doing it, we're just making it. Okay, so we're happy and we know it. Are you laughing with me? I hope you're laughing with me because this is good. This is filed under the stuff you can't make up. We know the dangers of cayenne pepper now. Obviously, I don't use it often. I was just so worried about the aminos that I was not paying attention to that situation. Okay. Do I put some in my hands? Will you all tell me later not to do that? And I do. I'm gonna put a little on the lid. Soak for a moment there. Thought this bowl might be too big. Now it'd be even prettier if you have a red apple. I've got a whole lot of green going on in here because I had green apples, but I'm sure it'll still be delicious, and it is adventurous. And it also says something about mineral salt, black pepper, and then even some red pepper flakes. I love red pepper flakes, but I better stay away from that. I think I've proven maybe I should not. Okay. And so, down in there. My camera battery is about to die. So I promise you that here in a moment I will add some salt and pepper to this. It's also more of a personal preference thing when I actually go to eat this. But to show you, see, that turned out lovely. Just picture the extra beauty like the picture if we had a red apple. Okay, but hey, look at us, we're using up our green apples. Okay, so we have done the cottage berry whip. We have done the blender freezer waffles. We are now gonna do, oh no, we have not. We're done the Waldorf cottage cheese salad. We are now going to do the blender freezer waffles. And then I think I have another surprise recipe after that. Look at us. Okay, so I am getting everything set up here. The next thing we are doing is the blender freezer waffles, and then because I have quite a bit of egg yolks left, because I've done egg whites the old-fashioned way with my eggs, saving the yolks in another bowl. I think we're going to do, I have a Denver omelet scramble sheet pan breakfast recipe over on largefamilietable.com. I'll also link that below. I think we're gonna doctor that up just right and use all of those yolks plus maybe some other eggs to use up those ingredients, but focusing on the blender waffles. So I think I'm doing a ×4 batch of this because they're good and you can eat 2 to 3 in a meal. These would be an S meal. And so I just want to do some batches and get going with this. Okay, I am going to swirl around here for some of my measuring spoons really quick. Let's see. So we are doing 4 batches, but I'm going to do them one at a time. Lots of tablespoons in this. These are kind of critical. I'll probably need another spoon for something. Okay, so coconut oil or cooking spray for the waffle iron. I got that going. I'll probably get my second waffle iron going as well. We need 1.5 packs of, they have the 1/3 less fat cream cheese. I just have regular old full fat cream cheese. So that's just that. 3 large eggs, egg whites, aluminum free baking powder, 3 generous tablespoons of coconut oil. Okay. 1/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of their protein powder. So there. Then a baking blend, also 1/4 of a cup. Okay, plus 2 tablespoons, and then sweetener, vanilla, almond milk, or water even, and then Bluekie, which again, we have xanthan gum, so that's what we're gonna be using. And make sure all my outlets are working over here. And so I have some cottage cheese, not cottage cheese, cream cheese we've already been dealing with. I'm gonna cut a little bit off, which will have me perpetually cutting it off, and that's okay. Well, I guess if I do this by 1/2. All right. And it just says to put everything, turn your waffle iron on, put everything in the blender. Got that. Blend it. Let it rest. Blend it again for a minute, and then let it rest for about 10 minutes to thicken up. All right. Okay. And there's our last little bit. And then this is one that's already been gotten into. Alrighty, and so 3 large eggs. Getting them here. Whites. Alrighty, and then we need a tablespoon of aluminum free baking powder. What is next? 3 generous tablespoons of coconut oil. We can do that. This will be my coconut oil spoon. Okay. Just leave that out, and then we are at, okay, 1/4 of a cup of their whey protein powder. There. Yes. Put in another order for some more of that. And then 2 tablespoons of it. And also, I think that might be my last bag of baking blend. I might have one more, but I like to order those 3-pound bags in bulk from there. And then we'll do the baking blend, which is so convenient for so many recipes. Okay, and then our sweetener, so they're saying 1/4 of a cup, and I am using stevia here. Some vanilla, just eyeballing. Hey, we made homemade vanilla. It's down in the pantry room. Should go down and get some of that here soon. Okay, 2/3 of a cup. Alrighty, and so then I found my 2/3 of a cup almond milk, yay. We'll put that in, and then it's 1½ teaspoons of the Glucki, which we don't have, but we do have xanthan gum, and we've been using that for everything we've been making. And it says 1½, okay. That is an honest teaspoon there. And this is an honest ½ teaspoon. Alrighty. And it says freeze 2 to 3 in each baggie depending on your preference, and then use the toaster to reheat them later. So I like all those thoughts. Okay. Well, friends, we are going to get going on a delightful recipe that I will link below, and I've got it over on largefamilytable.com, and it is for a sheet pan Denver omelet. Now, in that recipe, I use a variety of colored bell peppers and also cubed ham. You know how we do things around here. It's always like whatever you have to work with. So I don't have any cubed ham or peppers today, but you know, we always got a couple onions, it seems, unless we don't, right? So chopped up this onion, gonna saute it in some olive oil, and then I have some ground sausage that I was going to use in all this big batch cooking yesterday, and we used the canned sausage, but I'm gonna go ahead and cook some of that up. And then we'll be using a whole bunch of egg yolks that I have left from all the egg whites that many of these big batch style recipes have needed. We might end up throwing a few whole eggs in there. We're doing some things, but let's get these onions going, get the sausage going, then I'll show you what's next. We're gonna cook the whole thing then together on sheet pans in the oven. And this is actually gonna be dinner tonight for all my family folks, along with some fruit on the side. But here's their beautiful pictures of their waffles, and they say it's 1/4 of a cup of batter for each waffle. So let's get it going. Alrighty, so the waffles are continuing, except I'm gonna have 3 for lunch. I was supposed to have the Waldorf salad, but now I'm doing this. Now I need waffles. There you go. That's what being on plan is like. I didn't quite have enough batter there to finish up all 4. I have this delicious Belgian waffle situation. I guess I should show this to you, although it is so hot. Okay. Anyway, I'm having 3. I have another family folk here who's gonna have 3. We're gonna call it good and continue with the big batch waffles. Yay. Okay, I just caught that I forgot my 1½ teaspoons of Lukey, or I'm using xanthan gum, so good catch, Mama. There we go. And this will be our second batch, but a good bit of that first batch was lunch, but it was delicious. So here's a beautiful Belgian waffle. Alrighty, so for extra fun in the comments, friends, tell me how you get your waffles out, because fork, playing hot potato, that's what I do. But I know you all have the best ideas, so give me them good ideas, please. And now I'm going to try to scrape enough out of the Vitamix for this batch, and then we will move on to our third batch. I only have enough. Well, let's get our scraper. Okay, so we have active fort making going on in the background now, so you'll probably hear all of that fun. I'm gonna keep this train rolling. I'm gonna do 3 eggs and then the 1.5 cups of egg whites again. Boom, makes sense. And then it is, got 3 packages of cream cheese left, which is perfect because we need 1.5 packs for each batch. And again, remember, in the perfect THM world, you're using the 1/3 less fat cream cheese, which I was stocked up on. Regular old teenagers making bagels cream cheese here. And now I am using all of their stash, so I will need to refill it, but I didn't have to use Walmart delivery yet again today. block in half. They are very light waffles. I don't think I've ever done these waffles. I've done the their French toast that I make with Ezekiel bread and also egg whites, and I've done their pancakes. And I think they have a pancake, one of their variations in here. And they also have their syrup, like a homemade syrup situation in here. Let's see, yes, that's fine. Okay, aluminum-free baking powder. Sorry, I see lights coming from my window, but it's Amazon driver driving by. I know I have baking powder here. Okay, you know what? I keep using it as a tripod when I'm showing you stuff down here, and that's why it's disappearing. That tablespoon is for my coconut oil. This end is for my baking powder. And now, put in our coconut oil again. Usually said 3 generous tablespoons. Okay, so there's 2. Sorry, my timer's going. I'm like, why is my timer going? Turn that off in a minute. Okay. And then our protein powder. Just realized, forgot our 2/3 of a cup of almond milk and xanthan gum again. We'll get it though. I caught it. That's what matters. Catch it. Xanthan gum. 1 teaspoon. Okay. Now we're official. So look at this. Hey, we made homemade vanilla. Smells like vanilla. brought that up, even though I guess I'm done with it for the waffles for today. We will at least have it upstairs. So that is nice. And this is our 4th batch. And they are so delicious, and everyone's been asking me about them. So hopefully I get some in the freezer for my own mama meal prep. We shall see. Okay. And then sometimes I overfill the Belgian waffle, and sometimes I underfill it. So let's see. Most of them have been pretty close. Okay, so we have our sausage all cooked up. I sauteed the onion with it there. Also, I have some of this pepper jack cheese that I shredded all up. We're gonna use this, probably mix it within. I'm kind of, you know, well, how we do, going off the recipe and also adding to it. And then this is mostly egg yolks, but once I mix that up, we may eyeball it and add a few more eggs and add a little milk and get them going on our sheet pans. Alrighty, so I'm going to oil, put some olive oil on my pans, and then I'm going to divide this sausage in half. And put some on each pan here. That looks about right. Now, I want to mix all these egg yolks, which I don't remember the math on how many egg yolks I had, but it's very yolky. And I'm going to put some milk in, whisk it. But like I said, we may add more eggs. I'm talking to you as I'm walking by. We may add more eggs. Okay. You know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to add the rest of this cottage cheese to this, because adding cottage cheese to scrambled eggs is delicious, and so many of you have told me time and time again, why haven't I done that? So let's do it in this recipe. I have done it before, haven't done it on YouTube, so have I really done it then? Okay, let's see here. I might need another pepper. Hey, could you go downstairs and find me another little box of pepper? Like that, thank you. Alrighty, so we're getting this batch out, throwing our blender freezer waffle stash. Did get delivered. There it is. I like it when the pepper fairy comes. Or did they set another one out? Here it is. This one is open. This one is not. They did make like their mama and brought up an extra one for when we run out again. Okay, let me grab the salt. Set it over here because that cottage cheese container is empty, and I'm off the rails with this already. So we shall see. You know, I don't have all the measurements properly planned out for tons of extra egg yolks. But if you got a bunch, okay, that's looking like it's gonna work. I was thinking the cottage cheese might help bulk it up some more. I do believe it has turned out pretty perfect. I know the sheet pan Denver omelet, we'll just be calling these sheet pan omelets now at this point, but the sheet pan Denver omelet calls for 20 eggs and it's for 2 sheet pans full. Okay. Lovely. So what we always say, a handful of cheese is a cup of cheese around the world, right? So we got 2. I'm gonna get this in the oven, and then we're gonna work through that delicious lazy lasagna that me and one other family member had a portion each, 2 portions of last evening. We're going to get, I think we have 9 in one pan and 12 in another left. So whatever that math is, and we are going to get those bagged up or put in containers. Okay, tastes good. Now with these are, what would they be? The half sheet. These are the bigger baking pans here. So I fit 1 on each rack in this big oven here. All right, so here's our ginormous batch of blender freezer waffles. I have 2 more of these square ones that are going to come out, but then we're going to get these bagged up in probably, well, so many options here, but like 3 of these squares per bag. They said 2 to 3. I'm going to just go ahead and call this. This is not Trim Healthy Mama official. I am not Trim Healthy Mama, like high level. I'm not anything. I'm just we have Talking Waffle now. Okay, this is a thing. I make no official Trim Healthy Mama decisions. I am just a mama doing it. Okay, I'm going to say in my universe, one of these Belgian waffles is my breakfast. Okay, and 3 of these, because in here it says enjoy 2 to 3, and they're showing waffles this size, and they have 3, which probably match up with that. It's good. It's good. There you go. Breakfast. Alrighty, so here's the lazy lasagna from yesterday. This is how I think I'm going to package it up this time. So we basically have 2 portions. I'm going to freeze 2 portions in each container. And so an example on how I would do this, just like how I've done the other Trim Healthy Mama freezer meals that I have done, is I might set, we'll say, 2 of these out from the freezer into the refrigerator and then use them over the next 2 days or so. I mean, I might have this for breakfast, for lunch, or I might have, did I say that? I did. I said I might have this for breakfast, for lunch. I totally think I just said that. I might have this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tired mom brain, that is okay. Talking hand says it's okay. So let's put 2 squares each in each of these meal prepping containers. And breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be done for this mama as needed. right, so here's how all these lovely lazy lasagna containers have turned out. And since I had a little room left in this one, I put an extra portion in there, and I will just, you know, eat it by the square or by the gallon. But there we go, delicious.